Rain hammered the diner windows like it was trying to get in. The neon sign outside flickered. Ethel's 24-hour diner, a tired glow against the storm. Jack Carter sat in the corner booth, stirring his coffee, the kind of man who'd seen too much of life to fear bad weather. A scar ran along his jaw, a souvenir from Afghanistan, and the dog tags he still wore clinked softly whenever he moved. Across the counter, the new waitress Lily was trying to smile through her exhaustion. 22, bright eyes dimmed by worry, she carried plates with trembling hands. Jack had noticed she never ate her own meals, just tucked tips into a jar marked college fund. He'd been coming here every night for 2 weeks since his truck broke down outside of town. And every night Lily served him with that same quiet kindness, but tonight felt different. "Hey, Lily," the cook called out. "Someone's here asking for you." Jack looked up. A tall man in a three-piece suit stood in the doorway, rain rolling off his umbrella like he was allergic to getting wet. The kind of man who'd never stepped in a puddle in his life. "Lillian." His voice was cool, commanding. "We need to talk." Her face went pale. "Dad, please, not here." Jack blinked. "Dad?" Turned out her father was Richard Vaughn, a billionaire developer. The type whose name was printed on skyscrapers and whose hands never held anything heavier than a pen. He wasn't angry. He was disappointed, which somehow felt worse. "You're wasting your potential," Richard said, glancing around the diner like it was a disease. "Serving coffee to truckers and vagrants. You belong back in the company where you're safe." Lily's voice trembled. "Safe isn't the same as happy, Dad." That's when the billionaire's gaze landed on Jack. "And who are you?" Jack didn't flinch. "Customer." Richard's eyes narrowed. "Stay out of this." "I wasn't in it," Jack said evenly, "until you started talking to her like she's property." The diner went still. Even the coffee pot seemed to stop percolating. Richard's voice turned icy. "You have no idea who you're speaking to." Jack set his mug down slowly. "I used to say that too, usually right before I learned something the hard way." Lily's father stepped closer. "Do you think this girl is your responsibility?" "No," Jack said. "But I know what it looks like when someone needs help and nobody steps up." There it was, that quiet steel in his tone. The voice of a man who'd led scared soldiers through worse nights than this. Lily's lip trembled. "Dad, please, just let me—" "Enough," Richard snapped. "You're coming home." Then a small voice broke through the silence. "She needs help, Daddy." Everyone turned. Jack's daughter, Emma, 6 years old in her little yellow raincoat, stood at the edge of the booth clutching her teddy bear. She looked straight at the billionaire with innocent defiance. "You're being mean." The words hit harder than anything Jack could have said. For a moment, the great Richard Vaughn just stood there, stunned. The tension cracked like thunder outside. Then Lily stepped forward, tears glistening in her eyes. "She's right," she whispered. "You don't listen. You control." Richard looked at his daughter, really looked. Maybe for the first time in years. The storm outside softened to a drizzle. He exhaled, the fight draining out of him. "You're just like your mother," he said quietly. Lily nodded, smiling sadly. "I hope so." Later, after Richard left, awkwardly promising to try to understand, Jack and Lily cleaned the counter in silence. "Your daughter's brave," Lily said finally. Jack smiled. "She gets that from her mom." He paused. "You okay?" Lily nodded. "Yeah, for the first time in a long time." Outside, the clouds were breaking apart, letting the first hint of moonlight spill over the diner. Jack grabbed his jacket, dropped a 20 on the counter, and started toward the door. "Hey, Jack." He turned. "Thank you," Lily said softly, "for standing up for me." Jack smiled, that tired, gentle smile veterans wear. The one that says they've seen enough to know kindness still matters. "Don't thank me," he said. "Just pay it forward." As they stepped outside, Emma took Lily's hand and skipped through the puddles. Lily laughed. A real laugh this time. The kind that sounded like hope. And Jack thought maybe, just maybe, storms aren't always the worst thing. Sometimes they wash things clean. The road outside shimmered with puddles, reflecting the diner's warm light as the rain eased into a soft drizzle. Jack watched Lily and Emma laugh together, and something inside him softened. a quiet reminder that life still had gentle corners left. Even after everything it had taken from him, he pulled his worn jacket tighter, walking them to the car parked under the flickering streetlight. Lily hesitated beside him, the smell of rain and coffee still in the air. "I don't know what I'm supposed to do next," she admitted, voice small. "I stood up to him, but he's my father. He controls everything. My bank accounts, my apartment lease, even my car." Jack nodded slowly. "Then it's time to start from scratch. Scary, yeah, but clean slates can be good. You get to decide who you are now." Lily smiled faintly. "You make it sound easy." "It's not," Jack said, opening the car door for Emma. "But the hardest part, choosing yourself, you already did that tonight." She looked at him, eyes glassy with gratitude. "You talk like someone who's had to start over before." Jack chuckled softly. 3 times, actually. Once after the war, once after my wife passed, and once when I realized my little girl needed me more than my pride did. Lily looked down at Emma, who was now tracing hearts on the fogged-up car window. "She's lucky," she said. Jack's jaw tightened. "No," he murmured. "I'm the lucky one." For a long moment, they just stood there, 2 people who'd both been through their own battles, sharing a silence that said more than words could. Then headlights approached, sweeping across the wet asphalt. A black SUV slowed as it passed, and through the tinted glass Lily caught a glimpse of her father in the back seat. He didn't stop, just looked out for a moment, then gave a small, uncertain nod before the car rolled away into the night. Lily exhaled shakily. Maybe that was his way of saying he's sorry. Jack shrugged. "Sometimes that's all a man can manage." She smiled. "Still, it's something." Emma tugged on Lily's sleeve. "You can come stay with us," she said brightly. "Daddy makes pancakes. Sometimes they look weird, but they taste good." Lily laughed, really laughed this time, and wiped at her eyes. "That's the nicest offer I've had all week." Jack shot his daughter a look. "We'll figure something out, okay? For tonight you'll be safe." As they drove down the quiet, glistening road, the diner's neon sign faded behind them. Lily looked out the window, thinking about everything she'd lost and everything she might be gaining. She'd always thought freedom would come with money, with status. But now, sitting in that old pickup truck with a veteran and his daughter, she realized freedom was something simpler. It was peace. It was being seen. It was kindness that asked for nothing in return. When they reached the edge of town, Emma leaned sleepily against her father's arm. "Daddy?" she mumbled. "Yeah, sweetheart. She's gonna be okay, right?" Jack looked at Lily, her head resting gently against the window, the tension in her shoulders finally easing. "Yeah," he said softly. "She's gonna be just fine." And for the first time in years, Jack believed it, because sometimes people find each other in the middle of storms, not to save, but to remind each other that it's still possible to heal. And under the quiet hum of the truck and the whisper of rain, 3 souls, once broken, now mending, drove toward the first hint of dawn, where second chances waited like sunlight on the horizon. Morning broke soft and golden over the hills, brushing the world clean. Jack's old truck rumbled down the narrow road that led to his farmhouse, paint peeling, fence crooked, but somehow it always felt like home. Lily sat in the passenger seat, hair still damp from the rain, eyes heavy from a sleepless night. Emma hummed quietly in the back, playing with her teddy bear. The smell of pine and wet earth drifted through the open window. When they pulled into the gravel driveway, Lily hesitated. "You really live out here?" she asked. Jack smiled. "Yeah, not much to look at, but the roof doesn't leak and the coffee's strong." They stepped out. The morning air bit at their skin, but it felt fresh, alive. Inside, the house was simple. Photos of Jack's unit on the wall, a child's crayon drawings taped beside them. The kind of warmth that comes from memories, not money. Emma darted toward the kitchen. "I'll make breakfast," she announced, already pulling out a box of pancake.